This is another thrift store find which I found at Value Village. It's a 60s portable Royal Futura 800 mechanical typewriter that I got for $5 actually. They had a sale for about 7 typewriters there, and 2 were Smith Corona Sterlings. One was a Remington Quiet Writer, I think, Smith Corona SM9, and Remington Noiseless, all in very bad shape and actually quite expensive. Too much for me to spend in the thrift store, and especially for those machines in that state. There was also a Speedwriter Collegian which I bought for $10, and which I'll show you in a different video. But now I want to focus on my Futura 800. It's a very nice typewriter. It has a skin color. You can see it slightly, I don't know. In person you would see the color's a bit different than my camera is showing, but this I think they made these machines in gray, white, blue, like sky blue and pink, and I found the pink version, and I looked up on the internet and they fetch up quite high actually financially. So yeah, for $5, not a bad find. The latch to the cover was actually had come off, and the pieces were scattered throughout the machine underneath the type bars. I found them during cleaning, put them back together, and works like a charm. The decal is actually the button to open the cover, as you can see. Works fantastically. The machine is very clean, has a very nice crisp touch to the keys, and it's very nice to write with, although the ribbon is getting a slight faint. There's a sample here. You can, like, the camera actually makes it better than it is in person. It's quite faint. The interesting thing about this machine is that the people in the 50s started making typewriters with more plastic parts. For instance, this machine has, as you know, so you can see, plastic keys, plastic roller knobs, but the actual body is still metal. Well, throughout, they started with that in the 50s and worked their way throughout until the 80s, and in the 80s machines were completely plastic. But throughout that time period they started making more and more parts plastic. The body on this is completely metal, cast iron, but let's say for instance 60s or 70s brother typewriters started having plastic parts. And the keys, well, they started with that, like, say for example you have a Remington Quiet Writer, those portable machines from the 50s, they started out with the plastic keys. The Olympia SM1, 2 and 3, they started with the plastic keys, and worked their way through it. If you think about the Hermes 3000, the first Hermes 3000 started off with a cast iron body and plastic keys, and then the last 3000 was completely plastic, except for the inner parts of course, but they never changed that, which is not really possible, because after a week of slamming away with plastic type bars that would just die on you. Anyway, what I wanted to say is this machine is a change for the 50s. They started doing more plastic parts in the machine, and you could really see a change. Personally, I'm a fan of the glass keys with the chrome rings and the, is it paper letters? I'm not too sure. They have the letters underneath the glass, and it has a really nice feel, but other people have the finger focused size keys, the plastic keys, better, and that's just, I think that's just a feel. That's personally, everybody's different. The machine has the magic margins settings. Also changed the older models, the Quiet Deluxe and the Aristocrats had that on only one side, but now in the 60s they have it on both sides. There's a partial plastic, partial metal paper table. This is the paper support, very nice. And on the back, I'll just turning around for you here. It has the Royal Futura 800 decal, except for this tiny scratch here and this wear mark here. I think this machine is actually very nice shape for its condition, like for the way that I found it in, because it was an absolute mess. Stains, nicotine stains everywhere. This is just covered, but turned out really nice. Has a case, it has a few wear points, and it's missing its leather handle, but with this model that's quite common actually. So anyway, I think it's a real true find. The insides are very clean. It's the original ribbon which is starting to get faint. But I have a new one. I bought one yesterday and I'll install it soon. Oh yeah, this is an interesting one. It's a color selector. It's on the inside. So they have stencil, black and red, black, red. It's on the inside, not on the outside, which took me some time to figure out, but I got it now. Decal's in very nice shape. All the functions work. The backspace was disconnected when I found it. Put it back together and works great now. So anyway, that's it for now.